Hi, I'm Felicia Leatherwood, and I'm Kinky When Wet.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Kinky When Wet. I'm your host, nappy-headed black girl. I'm very excited about today's guest. She has been in the hair game for many, many years. Some even call her the natural hair whisperer. Please help me welcome natural hair educator and celebrity stylist, Felicia Leatherwood.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for meeting with me today. I am very excited to speak to you.
Yes, me too.
Here on Kinky When Wet, we like to start at the beginning. Tell us, what were your views on natural hair growing up? Have you always accepted your hair, or was it something that you had to learn to love?
I think I had to learn to love it because my mom didn't really know how to do my hair, but one thing she didn't do was relax it. So she kind of let me run around with like a really, really kinky, thick, dry afro. And then I became tender-headed, so it was really hard to just comb my hair. So when you go through that, you go through the pain of getting your hair done, you have to learn to love it. Because you're thinking, oh, this hair is not a good hair, and why do I have this hair? And, you have all these things that happen when you're a kid. Plus, other kids pick on you because you don't have that long, flowy hair, so you have to learn to love it.
Tell us about your natural hair journey. How long have you been natural? Did you actually transition, or have you never relaxed at all?
I think I probably relaxed my hair like maybe twice in my life and burnt it, got scabs and all that stuff. But for the most part, I've been natural. Like most of my life, I've been natural. And like I said, my mom didn't put a relaxer on me as a kid. She didn't even put a relaxer on me as a teenager. I think I didn't get a relaxer until I was like 22 years old or something. And I would do my own. Me and my girlfriends would be in the kitchen doing our own hair, burning our scalps and all that stuff. For the most part, for me, the relaxer never, like they call it a relaxer, but it was never relaxing to me. It always hurt or burned. My scalp was sensitive. I just don't think my scalp was made for a relaxer, and it just didn't work on me. So I would always braid my hair up. I would either wear braids or Senegalese twists or silky dreads or bantu knots, and this is before everybody was really kind of like into it. And I would braid up everybody's hair in my neighborhood. So for the most part, I think that constitutes as being natural.
I know right now you have a really fly shortcut, but I know you haven't always had it because I've seen you with some locks. I think you had a curly fro once. So how long have you had the cut that you have now, and what made you decide to take the leap?
I've had my hair like this, the bald head Caesar look, for about 3 years now, going on 3 years. And I'm really proud of this haircut because what it's done is it's definitely brought up a sense of pride and self-confidence. All you have is face. So you have to just kind of like pay attention to so many other things that you really love about yourself. And so it really creates a sense of pride having this hair like this. One of the things that happened for me that I noticed as a hairstylist when people come to me is if you ever have a hairstyle that you absolutely know you look great in, love, it's beautiful in you, but yet you want to keep changing your hair constantly, like it's always like this, what do I do next feeling. A lot of times I recognize that in women, and I look at that and see that there's something else that they need to change that they're not dealing with. And we talk about that. We get to what's going on in their lives. And I realized that I call it hair obsessed. It's when you become like just kind of a little obsessed with your hair. And what it means is there's something else going on in the background of your life that you're just not ready to deal with. I found myself doing that. I found myself becoming that person that gets hair obsessed. And what do I do now? What do I do next? What is next? What is next? And not being able to really stick in there with one hairstyle, but constantly changing it. And when I came to that conclusion, I realized it was something I needed to change on the inside. And then I wouldn't cut my hair. And that's when I was like, oh, I need to get rid of that boyfriend. I needed to get my house organized. I needed to do so many things that I was avoiding doing. And cut my hair just took me back to the basics.
Wow, that's interesting. I've never looked at it that way before. It makes a lot of sense. You're a celebrity stylist, so I know you have access to all of the top-notch hair products. Tell us what you use on your hair to keep it looking fabulous.
The blessing in being a hairstylist, and especially a natural one, is that people send you really great products to try.
Yes.
They want you to let them know, you know, give feedback, and I really appreciate all of that. I do try a lot of the products that come through. I actually do co-wash my head. You know, people are like, you co-wash. I'm like, yeah, because it's still a part of my skin, and your skin dries.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, I have a whole bunch of hair to shampoo, but I definitely do a co-wash. And what I usually use is the Shea Radiance to do my co-wash, or Eden Body Works. The Cocoa Shea line is really good. The other thing that I really enjoy is by a company called Bobeam, Bobeam. They have this really wonderful medley shea moisturizer with like shea butter, cocoa butter, almond oil in it. And it melts so nice and it smells so great on the head. And so I use that. I try some of these things on my hair too, even though I don't have hair, I have scalp.
Now, as a celebrity stylist, I know you've worked with some really big names, Miss Jill Scott, Kim Coles, Tomiko Fraser. Tell us how you became a celebrity stylist. Is that something that you've always wanted to do?
No, I had no idea I was going to become a celebrity hairstylist. I just ended up working in a salon that was celebrity based. They needed a natural hairstylist, and I said, okay. I started working there, and all of a sudden, people would come in. Everybody would come to that shop. Nobody was really specializing in natural hair. So whenever some of the celebrities were going on vacation and they wanted braids, they'd come to me. And then people started finding out that I do all these different types of styles and sculpted things and just different things in general, locks. And, you know, and then at that time, a lot of the guys were wearing their hair braided and cornrowed, and the whole Iverson thing had exploded. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah, so I ended up getting the opportunity to braid like Dr. Dre's hair for training day, and
wow.
Will Smith, and I worked with Arsenio Hall and Method Man and Cedric The Entertainer. If you look at barbershops, you see him with all that hair and that gray streak. Mm-hmm. That was all his hair. Like, we grew all that hair out for barbershop, and they just kind of like put a little gray streak in front, but that was all him.
I never knew that was his. I thought it was, I don't know, lace front or something.
No, that was all his hair. And then I worked with Anthony Anderson, and so I met Jill Scott at that time. That was I met Jill in 2002. So I've been working with her for a while now. And I just started meeting a bunch of people, you know, Marsha Ambrose, just a bunch of different people, and just braiding hair and doing what I love.
Nice. You never know where your talent will take you.
You really don't, because I had no idea. You couldn't have told me 20 years ago that I would be what I'm doing right now.
Tell us more about your workshop, Loving Your Hair with Natural Care.
The Loving Your Hair with Natural Care workshops were basically put together because of me traveling. And as I was traveling around the world and seeing women really kind of be a little bit lost in what their needs were for their hair, just trying to understand their hair, trying to figure it out, I said, you know, I would love to start teaching classes on hair. Now, at the time, I had gone to Cape Town, West Africa, and I just went just to go. I think I went out there. One of my friends, Tyra Wright, who's a big celebrity stylist, she was going, and I went and met up with her, and I saw all these girls with these crazy weaves, and, you know, they weren't crazy, but the weaves weren't crazy. They were a little out there because they didn't know how to match the hair.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, if I could just teach them how to weave better, but I'm not really a weaver like that. It just kind of something I thought about, forgot about, and one day, about 4 years ago, woke up and said, you know, I think it's time for me to teach those classes and make it be more about natural hair. I had no idea there was a whole natural hair movement going on when I started doing the workshop. I just wanted to teach women how to work with their own hair texture.
Right.
And the workshops were born, and they have been very successful. I've got really good ratings from the workshops. I love it. It's like my passion and my joy to go and teach around the world I just came back from Nigeria. Before that, I was in Tennessee. Before that, I was in Jamaica. Before that, I was in New York. So I go all over. I've been to Paris, London, Germany, Amsterdam. Naturals live everywhere. Everywhere. So
that's awesome.
Wherever they're at, I plan on going there and seeing them and talking to them.
What if I wanted to attend one of your workshops? Where can I find you online and find out more information about you?
You can find out more at www.lovingyourhairworkshop.com, or you can Google Felicia Leatherwood. I'm going to tell you, my obsession is Instagram. So if you go on Instagram, you're going to know what I have for breakfast and what I'm eating for lunch. It's under Loving Your Hair on Instagram.
Do you have any special projects coming up?
I have a couple of things happening. I'm doing a telesummit for curls. And what they're doing is they're mostly speaking on just how to take care of yourself, like holistically, how to just be the best you can be. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a little different than what I usually do, more about taking care of you from the inside out, mind, body, spirit. But that's one of my favorite topics, is how to take care of you in total, not just your hair, but everything. Right.
Before I let you go, do you have any tips or advice for the everyday natural just to keep his or her hair looking at its best?
I think the main thing you can do is to develop a regimen. And everybody, like, hears that word, and they're like, I hate that word. What's a regimen, you know? And it's like, well, do the same thing the same way so that you can get the same results. If you stick with that, then you'll see a difference. Mostly what I think for people that's important is when they concentrate on getting water inside their body. I mean, that's huge. Yes. You got to get some water, because without that, the body can't sustain. Like, you're made of water. And the hair grows best when you have water inside of it. That's like a really big deal, is drink some water.
Ms. Leatherwood, that about does it for us. I want to thank you again for joining me. It has been my pleasure to speak with you. And everyone, make sure you go check her out online, follow her Instagram, Twitter, and like her on Facebook. So thank you very much for speaking with us today, and we'll talk to you next time on Kinky When Wet. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.